Yes, yes, this is a fertile land, and we will thrive. We will rule over all this land, and we will call it this land. I think we should call it your grave. Oh, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Ha ha ha! Mine is an evil laugh. Now die! Oh, God! Dear God in heaven! Oh! Well, welcome back to the Comconocave. I am your host, the Comconocave, and today we're going to be talking about comic books. Now, the first comic book I'm going to be talking about kind of pertains to the Guardians of the Galaxy, which came out a couple weeks ago. So if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want to know what I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. And when I do that, just hit mute, and then when I'm done, I'll go like this so you know I'm done talking about it. That way I don't spoil anything for you. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Okay, as you know, if you've seen the movie, and if you haven't, go watch it. It's amazing. At the end credits, Howard the Duck makes an appearance, and we haven't seen him on the large screen since, I think it was 1983 when the Howard the Duck movie came out. It might have been 86. I can't remember. Also starred Leah Thompson. It was so horrible that it was great, and if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. It's well worth it just for the campiness of the whole thing. But now, Howard the Duck made his first appearance in comics back in 1973, and it was Adventures into Fear, issue 19, and it featured the Man-Thing. Now, before the movie came out, you could buy this for anywhere between $100 and $150. But ever since the movie came out, there was an issue that sold on eBay for $595, and another one that people were bidding on that was going for as high as $995 actually looked like it was going to sell. So you can't tell me movies don't influence comic books. I thought this was great. He's such a... Well, I don't want to say he's a terrible character, but as far as the cinematic universe went back in the 80s, he was a horrible character. But, he's a great character in the comic books. So I thought that was kind of an interesting thing that happened just from the few seconds that he showed up on film. So, okay, I'm all done. So come on back. Now... this year's large comic book storyline that's going to be taking place is with Marvel. It's called Axis. It's going to be starting in October, and in November they're going to be introducing a storyline called Inversion. And what's going to happen is the good guys are going to kind of take on an evil role, and the evil people are going to take on a good role. Not like parallel universe or anything like that. These are the actual people. For instance, the Hulk is going to become Kull, K-L-U-H, it's Hulk backwards. They say he's going to be the blackest, darkest, most evil thing in the Hulk's life, or he's going to be the Hulk's Hulk, is how they described him. Tony Stark, Iron Man. As you know, he had his demons in the past, but he's become, a popular character. Well, he's going to kind of go back to being an arms dealer, and I don't know if he's going to become an alcoholic again or not, but you see where they're going with this. They're kind of taking the worst of the character and bringing it to the front instead of keeping it in its past. But like I said, bad guys are going to be having the same thing happen to them. Carnage and Hobgoblin were two that they were talking about. They're going to go out and seek redemption and try to redeem themselves in the eyes of society and to themselves. So that's, an interesting storyline to, keep an eye out for. In fact, they said something the X-Men do, the world will never forget. And these things aren't just going to take place in the storyline. They're going to have lasting ramifications in the future with all these storylines. So if you're interested in it, keep an eye out for it. It sounds really exciting and interesting. Like I said, it starts in October, Inversion in November. Now, something else in comics on the DC side, they're coming out with a comic book called Gotham by Midnight, which is kind of like a Gotham X-Files comic book. Batman's going to be in it occasionally, but whenever something supernatural or alien or magical takes place, he's going to hand it off to this special police force, which is going to be led by Jim Corrigan. He's the lead detective, but if you know anything about comic books, you also know that he is the Spectre, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Spectre shows up. Now, they said that he's going to be trying to solve these as himself, because the Spectre is, God's judgment, and he's, wrath, fury, everything incarnated. So he's trying to take care of these things without having the Spectre get involved. So see more human interaction as far as the comic book goes. They're also going to have Elisa Drake, who's also a detective. Dr. Xander Tarr, he's forensics. And Sister Justine, who is a religious consultant. This is going to be starting up this year. I think that's going to be, honestly, I can't remember what month it's coming out. So keep an eye out for it. It could be September, October, or November. But sounds really interesting. I like the fact that they focused on the city as opposed to the people in it. They said they like Gotham because it's gothic, it's dark, and it just seems to be a magnet for, evil things. So that's it for this week. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section down below. You can reach me at comconocave@gmail.com. You can reach me on Twitter at comconoclast. And until next time, take it easy.